In the late 13th century, the fate of Japan hung by a thread. Across the treacherous waters of the East China Sea, the most feared fighting force of the age prepared to strike. The Mongol Empire, whose armies had crushed kingdoms from China to Persia, now turned their gaze to the islands of the rising sun. Their numbers were staggering. In 1274, an armada of nearly 900 warships darkened the horizon, carrying as many as 40,000 Mongol, Chinese, and Korean warriors. Against this tidal wave of steel stood a mere 10,000 Japanese, led by the proud and unyielding samurai. Outnumbered 4-1, they faced not only a foreign enemy, but a new kind of war. The Mongols brought with them the thunder of gunpowder, bombs that exploded in showers of fire and smoke, terrifying men and horses alike, and early cannons whose roar echoed across the beaches. Never before had the samurai encountered such weapons. The Mongol tactics were equally alien. Tightly disciplined infantry moved in unison, unleashing volleys of arrows and advancing behind shields. They fought as a single, relentless machine, while the samurai, trained in individual combat, relied on the courage of the lone warrior, the thunder of hooves, the flash of the katana, the desperate dance of blade and blood. The first clash was brutal. On the beaches of Hakata Bay, the Mongols surged ashore, overwhelming the defenders with sheer force and their terrifying new weapons. But while enemies fled in terror, the samurai stood their ground. Night fell, and the Mongols, cautious of a determined foe, withdrew to their ships. In the darkness, the Japanese struck back. Small, swift boats slipped out to harass the invaders, sowing chaos among the fleet. Yet the Mongol threat remained vast and imminent. Then the heavens themselves intervened. As the Mongol fleet waited to renew their assault, the winds began to howl. A typhoon, fierce and unrelenting, descended upon the invaders. Ships, chained together for defense, became death traps as the monstrous waves battered them. Masts snapped, hulls splintered, and men were swept into the raging sea. 13,000 drowned in the maelstrom. The survivors, battered and demoralized, limped home, their invasion shattered by what the Japanese would forever call the Kamikaze, the divine wind. But the Mongols were not so easily deterred. In 1281, they returned, this time with an armada so vast it dwarfed the first, over 4,000 ships and 140,000 men, the largest seaborne invasion the world would see until the 20th century. Yet the Japanese had not been idle. In the years between invasions, they had built massive stone walls along their coasts, 2 meters high, stretching for miles, designed to keep the Mongols from landing. The samurai, now 40,000 strong, patrolled the waters in nimble ships, launching daring night raids that harassed and wore down the invaders. For weeks, the Mongol fleet remained trapped at sea, unable to find safe harbor. Supplies ran low, disease spread, and tension mounted. And then, as if summoned by the prayers of a desperate nation, the sky turned black once more. A second typhoon, more powerful than the last, struck with merciless fury. The Mongol ships, hastily built and unfit for the storm, broke apart under the relentless assault of wind and waves. Bodies and wreckage littered the shore. Over half the invaders perished, tens of thousands lost to the sea. These warriors changed the course of history. While the Mongols conquered vast empires, the islands of Japan remained unconquered, their spirit unbroken. The story of the Kamikaze became legend, a testament to the courage of the samurai and the mysterious power that guarded their homeland. But was it truly divine intervention or the cunning resolve of warriors who refused to yield? Even now, the answer is whispered among the blood-soaked battlefields that forged a nation. What happened next shocked even hardened veterans, and the legacy of the samurai endures, forged in wind, steel, and the unbreakable will to survive.